Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So as promised, we are doing a part 2 of the best of series. So today we are going to be talking about foundations and concealers. So I have 5 products from the drugstore. I have 5 products high end, and we will walk through what I love. Before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join the family, and also hit that post notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's get started. So drugstore. So let's start with foundations. Now, these are my 2 holy grail. One is a little bit newer, to me at least, but first of all, this foundation, this 24-hour FRESHWEAR long wear foundation from L'Oreal is incredible. I have it on today. It is flawless. It stays put all day. It doesn't crease, crack, smudge, break up. Nothing. It does not accentuate my dryness around my nose or anything. This is great for all skin types. I highly recommend. I personally have the shade 475 on right now. My summer shade is usually 490, but what is summer these days with quarantine life? Buy this from Ulta because Ulta accepts returns, even on drugstore makeup, if the shade does not work. So thank me later. Second product I have is this Born to Glow foundation from NYX. Now, if you saw my previous video testing out Collab Beauty, I tried out this foundation. This made me look like an oil slick, and it's definitely not the best shade match for me. But once you set this down, guys, buy it, try it, thank me later. I think this is $10. I have the shade Buff. I definitely should have gone down a shade. However, this is so beautiful, but you just have to set it. If you don't set it, you will look wet. Moving on to Wet n Wild, we have the Photo Focus foundation. Now this is the dewy one. I prefer this one over the original, and I have the shade, what shade is this? Desert Beige. This is $5. It is so amazing, guys. It just, it's like, it's a satin finish. It's not, it says dewy, but it's not that dewy. It's definitely more of a satin finish. Once it sets down, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't crease or bunch or do anything. And the applicator is this like spatula, which is kind of cool. So that way you can literally just like draw on your face. Don't mind my hands. I was filming before this and I have swatches everywhere. But again, like this stuff is incredible. You can find this at any like CVS, Target, Walmart, any of those, and yeah, $5, you can't beat it. This product right here, this is like a random product to have in here, but I really like it. This is from the Shop Miss A website, AOA Studios, so I use their beauty sponge like every time I do my makeup. This is their BB cream. This is the AOA Studio Perfect BB Cream, Skin Perfecting, Color Correcting, and I have the shade Tan. This is $1. Yes, $1. This has so much coverage, like for a BB cream. It smooths out the skin, it evens everything up, and like for summer, I don't want to be going in with something super heavy and cakey. Even for wintertime, this is amazing. Put some of this on, use it with your hands, use it with a brush or a sponge. It doesn't matter, it always looks good. And if you don't know what your shade is, buy all of them. They're $1. It's insane. So I love this stuff. I cannot recommend more. And like, were you expecting me to call out a foundation that's $1? Probably not. Lastly, I have my Maybelline Superstay foundation stick. I personally use this for cream contour. I have the shade Mocha. I do like draw 2 lines on my beauty sponge and then go ahead and use this as cream contour. It blends so effortlessly. It is incredible. I have no doubts that using this as a full face of foundation would be anything under than beautiful. However, I just personally use this for contour. So try it for contour, try it for just like your all over foundation. But either way, the Superstay range is incredible. Tons of coverage, doesn't budge. Moving into concealers. LA Girls Pro Conceal. I don't have to say much about these. These have been around forever, tried and true, amazing. I have the shade Beautiful Bronze. I use this for contour, and then I also have the shade Creamy Beige that I use underneath my eyes. These are amazing. These are like the OG ones with the brush tip, so especially for like a nose contour, it's kind of nice because you can just go in and sculpt and draw right away. But yeah, these are $4.99 and can't get better than that. They literally have like 100 shades of these as well, and they have color correcting shades too, so like greens, yellow, red, pink, all of those. So if you want something full coverage but lightweight, these Flower Beauty light illusion concealers are so high coverage. I'm wearing them underneath my eyes today. I have the shades light and light medium. This stuff is full coverage, and you only need a little bit, and it's so thin so it doesn't feel like heavy underneath your eyes by any means. I don't know how she did this, but it's bomb. Moving on to CoverGirl. Now this is more of like a medium to full, and it's definitely very hydrating. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, and I have the shade Sand Beige. This is definitely more like the color of my skin tone, so I should have definitely gone lighter. I'll usually use this to mix in with something else to deepen it up a little bit, but this is beautiful. It's definitely very hydrating. It's going to give you coverage, but it's not going to be like full like mask on. So if that's the kind of vibe that you're looking for, then definitely try this out. Lastly, my last two babies. So I have the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Now you'll notice they're a little different. This is the original and this is the hydrating one. Both are good. I think I prefer this one, to be honest. This one's just a little bit more coverage because it's more matte, but nonetheless, they're amazing, and they're $5, $6. Crazy, yes, I know. These are by far, hands down, my favorite concealers, particularly this one. If you asked me to choose between everything I've discussed today, without a doubt, definitely this. In the matte one, I am in the shade, I have Tan Latte here. These oxidize like crazy, so play around with the shade ranges. This color works good for me, like particularly in the winter, summertime. And then in the hydrating one, I am in the shade Light Beige. Moving right along over to high end. Let's start off with foundation. So I have two foundations from NARS. The first is the Soft Matte Complete Foundation. This is so beautiful. I love this. I love this. They say it's transfer proof. I don't know if I agree with that, because I feel like anytime I put my mask on and take it off, I definitely have like a line, but I don't know. Maybe transfer proof, but it's definitely not mask proof. But I have the shade medium 3.5. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of this, but this is incredible. Moving along that same line is the luminous version. So this is the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This came out first, and I guess they wanted a matte version, so they came out with this. But again, I'm in the same shade, 3.5, and these are incredible. Super full coverage, both of them. So, and it's very lightweight too, so it doesn't feel like you're wearing a ton of foundation, which I love. Moving on to a new find, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Foundation. This is the luminous foundation. I hate this. I hate this. If they come out with this again, take this off. Like, it just ruins it. It's so elegant. And then, but anyways, this is the luminous foundation. I have a color at 300C. This is gives you a nice satin finish. It's not that dewy, but it's beautiful. I love it. I can't say enough good things. Moving on to Too Faced Born This Way. Now, I usually mix this in with like other foundations because it can look a little cakey around my nose area, but I love this stuff. I have the shades Light Beige. Light Beige is a little too light, but my normal shade is Warm Beige, so I'll usually mix the two, and that usually comes out to like the perfect shade for me. But this has a ton of coverage. Do not be fooled. It's beautiful, and I cannot recommend it enough. And lastly, my OG foundation. I have been using this for 10 plus years at this point. This is incredible. It's the Makeup Forever HD, what is it like technically called? Ultra HD foundation. I've been the shade Y415 Almond. They changed the shade names a little while ago, like maybe a couple of years back, so I think this is currently what this is called. It's called Almond. It's incredible. I've used this forever and a day. I have nothing bad to say about it. Try it. Good for all skin types. Try it. For concealer, are we surprised? I have my Graftobian palette. This is amazing. I use this for concealer, cream bronzer, everything. It's incredible. It is pretty pricey, so make sure that you are getting full use out of it, but you get this huge, massive mirror, and it's amazing. I'm just going to grab all three and talk about them at the same time because that camera light is flashing. So here they are. First one being Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I have the shade Light Beige. I use this every single day. It's full coverage, it's hydrating, it blends out like a dream. It does not look like you're wearing a ton of concealer. It's incredible. 10 out of 10, could not recommend enough. Tarte Shape Tape. I don't use this as much. It's very drying underneath the eyes. I definitely look a little crepey, especially once I set it. But again, like if you want full coverage, this this is for you. I personally use the shade light medium. That seems to be like the running theme throughout all of my concealers. I'm usually light medium or light beige. It's probably called one of those two, but I love this. This is a fan favorite, cult favorite. Everyone loves this, so definitely try it out if you have not already. I will say the e.l.f., the OG e.l.f., this matte one, these are the same thing. $6, $29 or $27. Get this one. And lastly, I have my Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer. This also is very comparable to the, I keep saying Shart. This is also very comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape. It literally is like the same thing. I think they're the same price point too. This may be a little bit cheaper, but I have the shade Medium Tan. This is actually a little bit too dark on me, so I usually go for a shade 14. So try this out, and you know, also check around their website because Dose of Colors is bomb. Like outside of concealers, their eyeshadows are some of the best. So shop around. You will thank me later. So guys, that completes today's video. So I hope this video was helpful for you. These are just my personal favorites when it comes to drugstore and foundation. Again, I'm wearing a drugstore foundation right now, so that is not to say that high-end is better. You can find amazing finds, both high-end and low end. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. Don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up. Let me know what else you want to see in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.